Anti-tithers can become heretical. Now, please listen to me. It doesn't mean if you're against tithing that you're heretical. It doesn't mean that if you do not tithe, you're heretical. But there is a particular argument that I hear from anti-tithers that is a heretical argument, a heretical statement. And that is this. In Matthew 23:23, Jesus clearly said, you should practice tithing. Those 4 words. So what I hear from the anti-tithers is this, and this is where the heresy comes in. They'll say, oh, no, look at the context. Jesus was speaking to Pharisees under the law. Therefore, those words don't apply to us today. Now, listen to me. That's heresy. You say, what do you mean? Because what you're doing is you are forgetting the important fact that Jesus is the Word of God made flesh. Jesus said in Matthew 24:35, heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. Do you realize what Jesus is saying by that? He is saying he's God, that he is above the creation, so that heaven and earth can pass away, but his words is the words of God. And because he is God, whatever he says, no matter to a Pharisee or to a Samaritan or to a leper or to a Herodian, it doesn't matter who he's talking to. Everything Jesus says is the eternal law and is applicable for all time. Do you understand that? So, for example, when Jesus said to a Pharisee named Nicodemus, you must be born again, you wouldn't say, oh, no. You got to remember, that's not for us. He was speaking to a Pharisee. Do you see how ridiculous that becomes? No, it doesn't matter if he spoke to a Pharisee or if he spoke to a Samaritan woman and saying, I'm the one who gives living water. Do you then say, because he said that to a Samaritan, that is a message to Samaritans only? Or when he told a Pharisee and a teacher of the law, give unto God the things that are God, do you think that's a message only to the teachers of the law? Or when he told Simon, a Pharisee, the parable about he that's forgiven much loves much, are you saying that's only to a Pharisee? Do you realize most of the gospel, or at least a large segment of the gospel, is devoted to Jesus answering questions and arguments and things that people brought to him? He doesn't just speak to his disciples. He speaks in many ways to different people. But you wouldn't discount the new birth or living water or loving much because he forgives, because he wasn't speaking it to disciples. And the same way is in Matthew 23:23. When Jesus said you should practice tithing, you can't simply say, that's not for me, because then you're stripping Christ of his divinity and you're treating him as simply a teacher of the law. And that's heresy.